It was wide and tall, with black metal walls that reflected sound more than light. Rows of seats rose like steps of stone. Creatures from many worlds filled them. Some had claws that clicked on the floor. This academy was known across systems as a place where only the strong learned and the weak learned to stay silent. At the back row, near the cold wall, a human woman sat alone. Her name was Lena. She entered the hall without noise and chose the farthest seat from the center. She kept her hands folded on her lap. Her back was straight, but not stiff. Her face showed no smile, no fear, no challenge. She looked like she belonged to the shadows, yet the shadows did not hide her. Around her, predators noticed. They always noticed. Some sensed heat, some sensed smell, some sensed the tiny shifts of breath that meant panic. Humans usually showed fear quickly in places like this. Their hearts raced, their muscles tensed, their eyes darted. Lena did none of that. A scaled hunter with long arms paused mid-step when he passed her row. His pupils narrowed. He turned his head slightly, tasting the air. There was no fear scent. That was wrong. A furred fighter with curved horns leaned back in his seat and stared at her. His ears twitched. He expected weakness. Instead, he felt watched. Lena did not look at him. That made it worse. The instructor entered the hall with a heavy stride. He was tall, even by predator standards, with gray skin and a deep scar across his neck. His voice rolled like thunder when he spoke. "This academy does not protect you," he said. "It shows you what you are." Lena listened. The instructor spoke about survival rankings, about dominance, about how some species were born to lead and others to obey. The predators nodded. This was familiar truth to them. When he spoke of humans, he paused. "Rare," he said. "Fragile. Observers only." A low sound of amusement moved through the hall. Lena did not react. Her eyes stayed forward, unfocused, as if she were listening to something deeper than words. The lecture continued, but attention kept drifting back to her. Predators did not like what they could not read. Silence, in their world, was either submission or threat, and Lena did not feel like submission. During a break, movement surged, seats scraped, claws tapped. Voices rose. A group of predators stood near the center, laughing loudly. One of them, a broad creature with stone-like skin, glanced toward the back. He smiled. He walked down the steps, each heavy step meant to be heard. He stopped in front of Lena, blocking her view. "You are far from your pack," he said slowly. Lena looked up at him. Her eyes were calm. "Yes," she said. "One word." Soft, clear. The creature waited for more. Begging. Apology. Fear. Nothing came. "You know this place eats the quiet ones," he said. "Yes," Lena replied again. Her tone did not change. Some predators leaned closer to watch. This was entertainment. A human pushed too far, always cracked. The creature bent down until his face was close to hers. His breath was hot and sharp. "Then why sit here?" he asked. Lena tilted her head slightly, as if thinking, "It is easier to see everything from the back," she said. The answer confused him. Predators liked straight lines. Threat or surrender. Fight or run. This was neither. He straightened with a snort and walked away, annoyed more than satisfied. Lena returned her gaze to the front. What none of them noticed was how she had counted every step he took. How she had watched the tension in his shoulders, how she had noted where others sat, who leaned forward, who watched from a distance. She was not hiding. She was mapping. The next session began. This one was about threat recognition. Images flashed on a large screen. Creatures lunged. Traps closed. Environments shifted. Students shouted answers. Ambush, pack hunter, low-gravity kill zone. The instructor nodded or corrected them. Then an image appeared of a barren plain under a white sky. Nothing moved. The instructor waited. Nell, one spoke. "Human," he said, turning slightly toward the back. "What do you see?" The hall froze. Eyes turned. Lena stood slowly. She did not rush. She did not shrink. "It is a kill field," she said. Some laughed. "There is nothing there," someone hissed. Lena continued, unbothered. "The ground is smooth, no cover. The sky is bright, which hides movement above. Wind will carry sound away. Predators who hunt here wait for exhaustion, not panic." The screen changed. Hidden shapes appeared. A trap revealed itself. The laughter died. The instructor stared at Lena for a long moment. "Sit," he said. Whispers filled the hall. Predators did not like when prey spoke with certainty. As time passed, the tension grew. Lena remained quiet. She answered only when asked. Each answer was simple, but it cut deep. She pointed out weaknesses others missed. She spoke of patience, of limits, of how fear could be used against the one who caused it. Some predators felt anger. Others felt something new, unease. By the end of the day, the back row felt closer than before. When the hall emptied, Lena stayed seated for a moment. She watched exits. She listened to fading footsteps. Only when the room was nearly empty did she stand and leave. In the corridor outside, lights hummed softly. Long shadows stretched along the floor. Someone stepped into her path. It was the stone-skinned creature from before. Two others stood behind him. "This place is not for games," he said. "I know," Lena replied. "You make us look foolish." "That was not my goal." He clenched his fists. "What is your goal, human?" Lena met his eyes. "To learn," she said, "and to see who notices." For the first time, he hesitated. Something in her voice told him that he already had. They stepped aside. Lena walked past them, unhurt, untouched. As she disappeared down the corridor, one predator spoke quietly. She did not smell like fear. Another answered even quieter. She smelled like control. Far above the academy, unseen by students, observers watched feeds and data streams. One paused on the image of a human woman leaving a hall from the back row. "Interesting," the observer said. The quiet ones were always the most dangerous. And the predators had locked onto her too late. The next day, the academy buzzed with the usual chaos. Students from dozens of worlds crowded the hallways, claws tapping on metal floors, tails flicking, eyes scanning for advantage. Lena moved among them quietly, her steps soft, her gaze calm. She carried nothing but a small satchel at her side. Most students did not notice her, or thought her fragile. They were wrong. Class began in the central arena, a wide space with raised platforms and walls lined with observation decks. Predators of every shape and size were already there. Some had wings folded tightly against their backs. Others had horns or fangs that caught the light. They watched each other, measuring strength, waiting for the moment to strike. Lena slipped to her usual place at the back row, folding her hands in her lap. She did not speak, but she observed every step, every glance, every twitch of muscle. The instructor arrived. His presence filled the room without words. Gray skin glimmered under the lights, and the scar along his neck seemed to hum with authority. He gestured to a training area where holographic targets flickered in and out of existence. "Today," he said, "you will test perception. You will learn what can strike when you do not expect it. Do not fail. Failure is costly." The predators smirked. Some muttered under their breath, mocking the human at the back. "She will scream soon," one said, a creature with 6 eyes and a long, flexible neck. "All humans do." Lena did not respond. She did not need to. The first exercise began. Students moved in small groups. They were to track, identify, and neutralize threats without weapons. Sounds simple, but the holographic predators were unpredictable. They moved fast. Some vanished. Some created decoys. Most predators rushed forward, using raw strength and speed. Lena stayed back, her eyes scanning, memorizing each movement. When one of the predators lunged, she stepped aside with a slight pivot, letting him stumble into a trap. No strength, no claws, only movement and timing. The room paused. Predators turned their heads. Some tried to mimic her movement. They failed. The stone-skinned predator from yesterday, Kor, approached her after the exercise. He towered over her, muscles flexing with impatience. "How do you move like that?" he asked. "You do not fight. You do not struggle. Yet you win." Lena looked at him. Her eyes were steady. "I watch," she said simply. "I wait. I let them make mistakes." Kor's jaw tightened. He was not used to being challenged, even silently. Predators measured strength in action, not in quiet observation. This human did not follow the rules. That made her dangerous. Later, during combat theory, the instructor asked questions about the weaknesses of certain predator species. Most students answered with confidence, quoting instinct, history, and territory dominance. Lena raised her hand. The room quieted. Her voice was soft but carried authority. "Predators rely on aggression," she said. "They underestimate patience. They assume fear is weakness. But fear can guide the predator into traps. The one who controls fear controls the fight." The instructor's eyes narrowed, and the predators shifted uncomfortably. She spoke in simple words, but her meaning was sharp. She revealed patterns that few had noticed, instincts that few dared admit. One predator laughed, sharp and high-pitched. "She is clever," he said, showing teeth, "but she is human. A human cannot understand true power." Lena's gaze moved over the group, calm, calculating. "Power is not always strength," she said. "It is knowing when to act." The instructor tapped the floor with his staff. "Enough! Observation is not enough. You must apply what you know. You must act." The next exercise took place in a simulated urban zone. Broken walls, narrow alleys, and flashing holograms created danger at every turn. Students moved in pairs. Lena paired with a small predator named Tal, a creature with fur like burned copper and eyes that reflected red light. Tal smirked, assuming superiority. They moved through the maze. Predators attacked holographic targets with speed and force. Lena did not attack directly. She guided Tal, pointed out hidden triggers, and positioned him to trap enemies. When a holographic predator leaped at them, Lena caught its movement in her mind and directed Tal to intercept. The attack was neutralized before it began. Tal stared at her. "How do you see everything?" he asked. "I notice," she said, "and I wait." It was a strange answer. Predators expected instructions, orders, or fear. They did not expect clarity. They did not understand the calm in her mind. By the end of the exercise, instructors gathered the students in the station. They debriefed, noting performance, mistakes, and strategy. Lena's name was mentioned. Some predators whispered, shaking their heads. Others watched her with unease. A human surviving this long, performing better than most predators, was impossible by their standards. Outside the arena, Kor cornered her again. "I do not like it," he said. "You make the rest of us look weak." "I do not try to make anyone weak," Lena said. "I only survive. You can choose to do the same." Kor's fists tightened. His eyes burned with frustration. Lena's calm made him feel exposed, weak, even foolish. He stepped back, unsure of how to respond. Later, in the library, Lena sat alone at a table. The library was enormous, with shelves stacked high with knowledge from countless worlds. Predators rarely came here, preferring physical challenges. She scanned old records, studying combat tactics, predator biology, and survival methods. Each book was a piece of a larger puzzle. She memorized patterns, weaknesses, and strengths. A predator entered. Mira, a sleek creature with glowing blue eyes and delicate wings, floated near her table. "You read everything?" Mira asked. "Why?" "To understand," Lena said. "If I know them, they cannot surprise me. If I know the rules, I can choose which ones to follow. Mira tilted her head. You are not afraid? Fear is only useful when it teaches you, Lena said. Mira stepped back, uncertain. Most predators would have roared, attacked, or laughed at that answer. Lena did not react to her presence beyond acknowledging it. By evening, the academy shifted into social time. Predators gathered in groups, showing off strength, alliances, and intimidation. Lena moved through the crowd quietly, unnoticed by most. She observed conversations, movements, and signals. She cataloged weaknesses, tendencies, and ambitions. Every predator who noticed her felt a strange tension. The human who sat in the back row was not weak. She was watching. A small predator with sharp ears and a quick tongue, Rin approached. Do you ever speak to anyone? She asked. I speak when needed, Lena said. Otherwise, I observe. But that makes them nervous. Good, Lena said. They should be. Night fell over the academy. Lena returned to her quarters, small and simple compared to predator rooms filled with trophies and weapons. She placed her books on the table and cleaned her equipment. Even in private, she prepared, reviewed, and trained her mind. Strength was not only in body, it was in knowing, in patience, and in control. The predators did not understand her methods. They measured strength by muscle, speed, and aggression. Lena measured it by knowledge, timing, and awareness. Each calculation she made placed her further ahead than they imagined. Far above, the observation decks of the council recorded her every move. One of them spoke quietly into a communicator. The human adapts faster than predicted. Her learning curve is unusual. She is not like the others. Another observer leaned forward, frowning. Keep watching. I want her performance recorded in every scenario. This may change everything. Below, Lena slept lightly, dreaming only in fragments. The back row, the hall, the predators, it all remained in her mind. Patterns, possibilities, and outcomes. She would rise tomorrow and do it again. Quiet, controlled, unseen, yet unavoidable. And in the back of the predator minds, a warning began to form. Humans were fragile, yes, but some were not. Some could see what predators missed. Some could survive in silence while the hunters themselves grew nervous. Lena was one of them. By the time the sun rose on the third day, whispers had started. Predators who had underestimated her were beginning to count steps, measure breaths, and reconsider assumptions. The human at the back row was no longer just a silent observer. She had become a question, a problem, and for some, a threat. The quietest ones are always the most dangerous, Lena thought as she prepared for the next exercise, and predators never saw danger coming from those who do not scream. The training arena smelled of metal and heat. Sounds echoed off the walls, claws scraping, wings flapping, voices shouting commands. Predators from all worlds were here, ready to test strength, speed, and cunning. Lena entered quietly, her steps soft, her gaze calm. She moved to the back row, as always, folding her hands on her lap. The predators noticed her immediately, as if instinct itself had drawn their eyes toward the silent human who seemed too still to be true. The instructor, a tall, gray-skinned predator with a scar that ran from shoulder to jaw, stepped forward. His eyes swept the arena, lingering on Lena for just a moment longer than the others. Today, he said, you will face each other. No weapons, no shields, only skill and wits. The goal is to survive. The goal is to control. The weak will fall quickly. Predators laughed. Some whispered to each other, smiling at the human at the back. Most believed she would fall first. Most humans did. Lena's presence, so calm, so unmoving, made the predators uneasy. The first group moved. They attacked each other in bursts of claws, teeth, and force. Students fell quickly, some with pride, some with shame. Then it was time for Lena's turn. A predator named Kor approached, the same stone-skinned warrior who had blocked her in the hall. He expected a quick end. Lena did not move. She did not flinch. Her eyes scanned his stance. counted the weight on each foot, measured the shift in his shoulders. He lunged. Lena stepped to the side, barely moving, and Core stumbled forward. She guided him gently with a touch to his shoulder, redirecting his momentum. He fell to the ground, surprised, not hurt. The other predators froze. One by one they tried. Sharp claws swung, fangs aimed for her, wings flared to strike. Lena dodged with precision, moved with balance, and guided her attackers into traps. Walls, columns, holographic barriers. She used every part of the arena to her advantage. She did not attack to hurt. She did not need to. Every move counted, every step precise. By the end, Core and the others lay on the floor, exhausted, humiliated, or off balance. Lena stood in the center, hands by her side, breathing steady. The predators could not understand. She had won without strength, without aggression. Only skill, timing, and observation. The arena went silent. The instructor's eyes narrowed. "Sit," he said. Lena did. Quietly, still calm. Predators whispered among themselves. They had underestimated a human before, but this was different. During the next exercise, Lena paired with a small predator named Tall. Tall was clever, fast, and arrogant. He assumed he would dominate the human easily. Together they moved through a simulated forest filled with obstacles and hidden dangers. Tall charged at targets, swinging claws and teeth. Lena moved differently. She waited. She watched. When a trap triggered, she guided Tall to safety. When a hidden opponent approached, she intercepted before an attack could happen. Tall's eyes widened. "How do you know what is coming?" he asked. "I notice," Lena said simply. Her words were calm, quiet, yet heavier than any roar. Tall had never heard someone speak like that in battle. Most predators shouted, barked, or growled to intimidate. Lena did not need to. She was calm, and that calm made the predators around her uneasy. By the end of the exercise, the instructor gathered all the students. "Humans are fragile," he said, "but some may survive longer than expected. Watch carefully." Whispers followed Lena as she returned to the back row. Some predators looked at her with curiosity, others with frustration, a few with fear. No, one could read her. No one knew what she would do next. Later, the predators were assigned a combat test. This one was dangerous. A captured beast from a distant world was released in the arena. It was large, faster than any predator student, and designed to challenge their survival instincts. The goal was simple: survive. The predators laughed at Lena, thinking she would be the first to fall. The beast roared and charged. Predators scattered, claws and teeth swinging. Some were knocked down, some barely avoided injury. Lena did not move until the beast was close. Then she sidestepped, letting the beast overextend. She guided it toward a trap, a narrow corridor with hidden panels. The beast hit the walls, frustrated, confused, and exhausted. Lena did not panic. She did not scream. She waited, observed, and acted at the perfect moment. A single motion, precise and calculated, ended the beast's threat without bloodshed. Predators stared. They had never seen this. A human had defeated a predator beast, without weapons, without strength, without aggression. The instructor stepped forward, his face unreadable. "The quiet ones," he said slowly, "are often the most dangerous." Afterward, in the corridors, predators whispered. Core approached Lena again, tension in every line of his body. "You make us look foolish," he said. "You make us doubt everything we know." "I do not try to make anyone foolish," Lena said. "I only survive." Core clenched his fists, struggling with something he could not name. Lena's calm made him feel exposed. She did not speak to intimidate, she did not attack to dominate, and yet she had won. He stepped aside, unsure, frustrated, and a little afraid. In the library, Lena studied old records of predators and humans. She memorized patterns, weaknesses, and strengths. She calculated moves in her mind, preparing for every scenario. Some predators noticed and whispered about her ability. They could not understand how a human could combine knowledge, patience, and awareness into a deadly strategy. As night fell, Lena returned to her quarters. She organized her notes, reviewed every detail of the day, and planned for the next. Outside, predators slept, roared, or plotted. Lena slept lightly, her mind alert, tracking every detail she had observed. Far above, council observers watched her progress. She adapts faster than predicted, one said. Her learning curve is unusual. She is not like the others. Another nodded. Keep observing. She may change the rules for everyone here. Lena did not know they watched her. She did not need to. Her focus was clear: survive, observe, and act when the time was right. The predators had begun to realize something. Humans were fragile, yes, but some humans were different. Some could survive, adapt, and win without following the rules. Lena was one of them. And as the sun rose on the third day, predators began to watch her more closely. The back row, the quiet seat, was no longer a place of weakness. It had become a place of power. Every predator who had underestimated her felt it in their bones. The human in the back row was not prey. She was a problem. And predators do not like problems they cannot understand. The council chamber was vast, high, and cold. Walls of black metal stretched upward, lit by strange glowing panels. Predators of every kind gathered here. Sitting on raised platforms, eyes glowing, claws folded, Lena entered quietly, her steps soft, her gaze steady. She walked past rows of watching students, past instructors, past predators who expected fear. None came. Lena did not show fear. She did not flinch. Her silence drew the attention of everyone in the chamber. The lead counselor, a tall predator with scales that shimmered like bronze, spoke first. His voice was low and deliberate. "Human," he said, eyes narrowing. "Your performance in the arena has disrupted the expected order. Predators who should dominate you have failed. How do you explain this?" Lina looked at him calmly. "I observe," she said. "I learn. I act when it is necessary." A predator from the side platform snorted. "You are small. You are fragile. You claim to control, but your kind cannot survive here." Lena tilted her head. "My kind survives because we learn faster than we fight. We adapt. We endure. Fear is not weakness if it teaches you." The council murmured. Some predators leaned forward. Some shifted in discomfort. The counselor's eyes burned into her. "We will test this," he said. "You claim control. We will see if it is truth or trick." A test was arranged. The arena would be filled with a captured beast from a distant world. It was large, powerful, and intelligent. It had fought predators far stronger than any student. The council's plan was simple: expose Lena's limits. If she survived, the council would know a human could be dangerous. If she failed, the lesson would teach the predators control and dominance. When Lena entered the arena, the beast was already there. It growled, low and threatening, muscles rippling under thick hide. Predators scattered, unsure of how to engage. Some attacked immediately. Others watched, waiting for the human to falter. Lena did not move until the beast lunged. She sidestepped with precise timing, using her weight and balance to avoid the strike. She did not attack. She did not scream. She observed. The beast circled, calculating, testing her. The predators who tried to intervene were struck aside or trapped by the environment she anticipated. She guided the beast through narrow passages, over obstacles, and into positions where its strength worked against it. Each motion was small, calculated, controlled. She did not need weapons. She did not need aggression. Her mind and her awareness were enough. The council watched in silence. Predators whispered, eyes wide. No one had expected this. A human controlling a predator beast without violence was impossible in their logic. Finally, the beast tired. Its charges became slower, less precise. Lena acted at the perfect moment, moving the beast into a containment field. It was immobilized without harm. She stood quietly, breathing calm, eyes steady. The council remained silent, and then the bronze-scaled predator spoke. "You survived what no other student could. You have skill beyond your kind. You have control beyond understanding." A younger predator whispered, voice trembling, "She is not weak. She is not human in the way we thought. She is different." Lena spoke softly, addressing the council. "I do not seek to dominate. I only survive, and when I survive, I learn. That is all my kind does." The lead counselor leaned back, considering it. "We may have underestimated humans," he said. "Your silence and your patience are dangerous. We must record this. We must observe further." Outside the arena, predators who had witnessed the test spoke in hushed tones. Kor approached Lena again, his expression unreadable. "You do not fight like any predator," he said. "You guide. You control. You teach by example. That is the way my kind survives," Lena said. "We do not need to dominate to endure. We need only to adapt and act at the right moment." Kor clenched his fists. He wanted to challenge her, to prove strength, but Lena's calm made him pause. He could not find anger, only a growing respect mixed with unease. Later, Lena returned to the library. She pored over texts about predator behavior, about beasts in combat, about survival tactics across worlds. She memorized movements, noted patterns, and calculated possible scenarios. Predators who saw her thought she was fragile. In truth, she was preparing, learning, and anticipating every move the council, instructors, or predators might make next. Night fell over the academy. Lena walked alone through quiet corridors. Her shadow stretched along the walls, her footsteps soft, controlled. In her mind, she replayed the beast encounter, every move, every pause, every chance she had taken. She planned for tomorrow, knowing the council would not stop testing her, knowing predators would not cease their curiosity and their fear. Far above, observers in hidden decks recorded everything. "She adapts faster than expected," one said. "Her control is unusual. Her patience is dangerous." Another observer nodded. "Keep watching. The human may redefine the rules here. Prepare for changes." Elena did not hear them. She did not need to. Every calculation, every observation, every step was hers alone. The predators would learn that patience, observation, and control could be stronger than claws or teeth. By morning, whispers had spread through the academy. Predators began to measure her movements, note her habits, and reconsider assumptions. The human who had sat in the back row quietly had become the center of attention without ever seeking it. And the predators for the first time understood that the quiet ones could be the most dangerous. Lena's test had been more than survival. It was a warning, a demonstration, and a lesson. Those who had underestimated her would remember it forever. The arena was silent before it began. The predators who usually filled the space with claws, wings, and teeth stood back, watching. Lena walked in calmly, her steps soft, her eyes steady. She carried nothing but her satchel. The council had ordered a live combat exercise, and this time the challenge would be real. Not a hologram, not a small beast. This was a large predator from a distant world, captured for training. It had killed creatures stronger than many students combined. Yet, predators had been told it was impossible for a human to survive against it. Lena's presence in the arena drew whispers. Many predators thought it would be the end of the quiet human who had already outsmarted them once. The beast appeared suddenly, a massive creature with gray scales, thick legs, and claws that could tear metal. Its eyes glowed red. It roared, a deep, vibrating sound that made the arena tremble. Predators scattered, attacking with claws, fangs, and brute force. Most fell quickly, some injured, some thrown aside. She did not run. She stood still, studying the beast. The first move came. The creature charged at her, teeth bared, claws ready. Lena sidestepped with perfect timing, letting its weight carry it forward. She guided it toward a narrow passage between columns. The beast slammed into the walls, trying to turn, but Lena kept it moving, predicting its strikes. She used nothing but her awareness, her timing, and her balance. Each move she made was precise. Each step placed the beast at a disadvantage without harming it. Predators watched in silence. None had ever seen a human control a predator of this size without weapons. Many were shaking. Some whispered to each other, questioning everything they had learned. The beast growled and twisted, attempting to trap Lena. She stayed calm, moving around it, reading its intentions, anticipating its strikes. When it lunged again, she caught its weight with a slight push on its side, redirecting its motion. The creature stumbled, frustrated. Lena had not hit it. She had only used strategy. One by one, predators who tried to interfere were sent off balance or guided into harmless traps of their own. Lena did not attack. She did not scream. Her quiet control made predators uneasy. They had never experienced power without violence, skill without aggression. After several tense minutes, the beast began to tire. Its movements slowed. Its attacks became less precise. Lena waited. Every predator in the arena watched her closely, their jaws tight, eyes wide. When the moment came, Lena acted with one smooth motion, guiding the beast into a containment field. It was trapped, immobilized, unharmed, but completely under control. The arena was silent. Predators stared. Some were in awe, others were frustrated. Kor, the stone-skinned predator who had challenged her before, stepped forward, his expression unreadable. How did you do that?" he asked. His voice was low, tense. "I observed," Lena said simply. "I waited. I acted when the moment was right." Kor's fists clenched. He wanted to challenge her again, to prove strength, but the calm in her voice and the precision of her actions left him unsure. He took a step back, frustrated and a little afraid. The council observers remained quiet. They recorded every detail, noting her patience, her skill, and her control. One whispered, "She changes the rules of everything here. The quiet human has shown that strength is not only in claws or teeth." Another observer nodded. "She is dangerous, not because she kills, but because she controls. We must continue to watch. Every action matters." After the arena cleared, Lena returned to the library. She studied predator tactics, old combat scenarios, and survival methods. She memorized patterns, weaknesses, and advantages. Every book was a tool, every observation a weapon. Predators who saw her thought she was fragile, but in truth, she was preparing, learning, and anticipating every scenario. That night, the predators who had been humiliated in the arena whispered among themselves. Kor approached Lena again, tension in every line of his body. "You make us look foolish," he said. "I do not try to make anyone foolish," Lena said. "I only survive. You can choose to do the same." Kor clenched his fists, struggling with his own pride and frustration. Lena's calm control left him feeling exposed. He could not find anger, only growing respect mixed with unease. Far above the academy, observers recorded every moment. "She adapts faster than expected," one said. "Her patience is unusual. Her control is dangerous." By morning, the predators in the academy had begun to measure her movements, note her habits, and reconsider assumptions. The human who had sat silently in the back row had become the center of attention without ever seeking it. Predators whispered warnings. Students watched her carefully. Teachers noted her skill. And Lena, calm and quiet as ever, prepared for the next challenge, knowing that the predators who had once underestimated her were now beginning to understand the truth. The quiet ones, the observers, the patient, were often the most dangerous of all. Lena's victory was not just survival, it was a lesson, a demonstration, and a warning. Those who had underestimated her would remember it forever. The predators were learning something they had never been taught. Control, patience, and knowledge could be more powerful than strength, speed, or ferocity. And in the back of every predator's mind, the memory of the human in the back row, quiet and unyielding, began to grow into a shadow they could not ignore. The academy was quiet that morning. Students moved through the corridors, some whispering about yesterday's exercise, others trying to avoid the human who had outsmarted every predator who challenged her. Lena walked calmly through the hallways, her steps soft, her gaze steady. Nothing about her demanded attention, yet every predator who passed sensed her presence. They could not explain it, and that made them uneasy. The council had gathered in the observation deck above. Their faces were tense. Every recorder, every note, and every feed from the arena had been analyzed. "The human adapts faster than we predicted," one counselor said, tapping a clawed finger on the screen. "She does not follow our rules. She creates new ones without even speaking. She is exceptional. She is not here to compete with us," another said. "She is here to observe, to test us. Everything she has done has been deliberate." The truth was, Lena had not come to the academy by chance. Her mission was to see how predators treated the weak, how they tested humans, and how they assumed dominance. Every step she had taken, every calm word, every calculated move was part of her observation. She was not a student who had learned by accident. She was sent to learn and survive, and through survival, she was recording everything. Back in the arena, a new exercise was announced. The predators who had watched her quietly feared the worst. The council intended to challenge her further, to see if she could maintain control under the pressure of multiple predators and unpredictable threats. Lena entered calmly, as always. She carried nothing but her satchel. Her eyes swept the arena, noting exits, obstacles, and the positions of the council's observers. The predators were unleashed. This time it was not a single beast. Multiple challenges, some mechanical, some biological, moved through the arena. Students attacked recklessly, relying on strength, claws, and teeth, Ellen observed, moving only when necessary. She guided attacks, avoided danger, and anticipated each strike. She did not fight to dominate. She acted to survive, to study, and to control the flow of events. One predator, Core, attempted to corner her. He had grown frustrated and fearful at the same time. Lena met his attack calmly. She did not strike him with force. Instead, she redirected his momentum, using the arena itself to neutralize his aggression. He fell, exhausted and surprised. Every predator who had doubted her began to hesitate. They were no longer confident, no longer certain of their superiority. The exercise became more dangerous. The council released an untrained predator beast into the arena. Its size and strength were meant to overwhelm any student, human or otherwise. The predators scattered in panic. Lena remained calm. She watched the beast's movements, predicting patterns, and guiding other predators away from danger. Every action she took was precise, measured, and deliberate. Finally, the moment came. Lena led the beast into a narrow corridor where it could not move freely. She used her understanding of balance, pressure, and timing to guide it into a containment field. The beast was immobilized without harm, without excessive force, and completely under her control. Predators and council members alike stared in disbelief. Outside the arena, whispers spread. She controls without aggression. She predicts without technology. She is not human in the way we thought. Core approached her once more, this time with less anger and more respect. "You have shown us something we did not understand," he admitted. "I have survived," Lena said simply. That is all. The council convened later to discuss her performance. "She is more than a student," one predator said. "She is a lesson for all of us. Her patience, observation, and control have shown the flaws in our assumptions. We underestimated humans." Another counselor nodded. "Her silence is a warning. The quiet ones can be the most dangerous. We must consider what this means for future encounters." Meanwhile, Lena returned to her quarters. She reviewed her notes, studied predator behavior, and prepared for the days ahead. Even in private, she planned, calculated, and observed. Strength, speed, and ferocity were important to predators, but for humans like her, patience, awareness, and control were stronger. Night fell, and the academy was quiet. Lena walked through the corridors, her shadow stretching along the walls, and uneasy.
The lessons of the past days had reached them. Humans were not weak.
Some could survive, adapt, and excel where others failed. Lena's calm, quiet demeanor had proven that. Far above, council observers recorded every moment. "She has changed everything," one said. "Her presence alone alters predator behavior. She is not just a student. She is a measure of our assumptions, and she may redefine the rules entirely." By morning, the academy had shifted. Predators measured her movements, noted her habits, and reconsidered everything they thought they knew. The human who had sat silently in the back row was no longer invisible. She was a problem, a lesson, and a warning. And as Lena walked through the halls, silent and observing, every predator knew this truth. The quiet human in the back row was not prey. She had survived every challenge, controlled every situation, and taught a lesson without raising her voice. Those who had underestimated her would never forget. The academy had changed. The predators had learned to watch, to think, and to fear the calm ones. Lena had not just survived, she had demonstrated the quiet strength of humans. And in the back of every predator's mind, the memory of the human who watched silently, calculated everything, and acted only when necessary would remain forever. She had sat silent in the back row, and now every predator in the academy understood why that seat was never a place of weakness. It was a warning. And somewhere in the distance, a new student walked into the academy, taking the back row, silent, calm, and ready to observe. The cycle had only begun. The predators would have to learn again that the quiet ones are the most dangerous of all.